avoidance mentality versus abundant mentality. Let's break it down. What's going on, my peeps? It's your boy, Will Rogers, aka Master Teacher 33. Avoidance mentality versus abundant or abundance mentality. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? We've all heard the phrase or the term, never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Or I like to say it this way, never invest scared money, or never hang out with scary people. See, you attract where you're at. You don't attract what you want, what you pray for, what you believe. You attract what you are. If you're scary, you're going to attract scary money. You're going to attract scary people. You're going to attract scary situations. So when we're talking about establishing, again, business by the book, doing business God's way, as I mentioned earlier today, it's extremely important that we establish this internal Christ-likeness. We establish an internal operating system, an internal vision, an internal mission, an internal set of let's say morals and values that we hold dear to us that allow us to operate in glass half full versus glass half empty. There's a lot of people who see the world, especially now with the political climate, and a lot of people are falling for the roki doke again, especially most melanated folk, most Christian folk. They get all amped up because of what's going on, what's advertised, what's being promoted, as if that is the only narrative available. I mean, it's very, very interesting that we fall for the roki doke, glass half empty, instead of operating with a mental disposition that says the glass is half full, instead of operating from a space or from a place where all things work together, regardless of what, even if they don't. Still believe. I mean, you can go to your grave. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to my grave 1,000 years from now when that time comes with a mental disposition that says, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. No weapon formed against me can prosper. All who rise up against me shall fall. I walk through the valley of shadow and death, fear no evil. So that is a mental disposition versus avoidance. So most people are trying to avoid. So most people drive the speed limit to avoid getting a ticket instead of driving the speed limit to gain a clear pathway to your destination. So avoidance mentality versus abundant mentality, glass half full versus glass half empty. They're both the same, but they're extremely different to the neural system. So your ANS and your CNS and your parasympathetic nervous system, again, we create or we get a sense or we get a feeling of being nervous, concerned, worried. The Bible tells us why worry about what you'll eat. This is in your Bible. It's all through the Bible. The Bible says that God's not giving us a spirit of fear. The Bible specifically talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. The Bible specifically talks about a God before you who can be against you. So we're supposed to walk in newness of life. We're supposed to walk, we are ambassadors of Christ. So if anybody on this planet that should be feeling good, smelling good, looking good, regardless of your financial state, your medical or your health state or your wisdom state or your relationship state, you're supposed to act as if. I mean, that's what it says in the book that I read. We're supposed to act as if. That's what faith means. Faith means to act as if. So we're not saying that, I'm not saying that you don't ignore, but after you examine it, after you look at it, talk about it, call your mom and your daddy, your, aunts, uncles, and everybody, talk about it. But when you're done, you're supposed to carry yourself like you're in a state of abundance. So the abundance mentality, you should not be trying to avoid hell. You're supposed to be gaining heaven from an old biblical perspective. From the new conscious awareness perspective, you're supposed to oscillate and vibrate in a mental disposition that says, I am. Not a mental disposition that says, I want to avoid. So most people are they're trying to protect what they got instead of trying to invest what they got. Most people are not faithful and wise in this, capitalistic society. In this modern day, hell, for lack of a better term. So the ability for you to operate in a redemptive, entrepreneurial, cultural making, not cult, but a culture. You're supposed to create an operating system. You're supposed to create a harmonious environment where people can thrive and people can grow. Just being around you, when you walk into a room, you should be able to amplify the space. Your inner chi, your energy. You should be in an energetic state where you got more, you got an abundance, you got an overflow. You're supposed to be walking in the state or in a place of an overflow or an overflow of abundance mentally, spiritually, vibrationally, energetically. Now, if you got it externally, boo, boo, do you. That's even better. But the goal is to get to a space where all things work together for your good. Something happens, bam, all things work together for my good. Now, I'm not saying, you won't get there next week, but that's the goal anyway. So we got to get out of trying to avoid stuff. That's skittish. Boo boo, don't. That's not a good look, homie. It's not a good look to be skittish, to be scarred. Why are you scarred, homie? Why are you scarred? So most folk, they're scarred. Now, I'm not saying you should be aware. You shouldn't be aware, but you should be trying to avoid. You should be in a state of abundance. So that means that no matter what the enemy throws at you, you have the capacity or you have the connection. So you got the connection in the source. So now remember, if God be for you, who can be against you? I'm just saying. I don't know. Your God's arms too short. So you might want to get you a new God, bro. I'm just saying. So if you always scared up, if you are easily scarred, if you skittish, if you break a nail and you flip out, if the devil's always after you, if that's all you, no matter what, you wake up every day, man, bro, they got my foot on my neck again, homie. Like day after day after day, you always going through, bruh. Check your mental disposition, homie. That simply means that you're drawing. Now, I know, Negroes don't like to talk about the truth. They like King James. I ain't mad at you, bruh. But all I'm simply expressing, exposing, expanding to you today is extremely important that you explore or consider the fact that you bring about what you think about. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It is done unto you as you believe. We have to reframe failure, and we have to abandon scarcity, fear, doubt, and unbelief. We're going to operate in faith, hope, and love. So again, not alone. This is just a short nugget. There's a lot going on in the world today. But how much of it does it actually really affect you? How much of what's going on in the world, what they say is happening over yonder, is affecting you here? Now, for some people, it is. Now, I'm not trying to make light of it because there's a lot of stuff going on. I know I got a lot of stuff going on this end. What you got going on over there where you at? But while you got all that stuff going on, guess what? Man, this is a great day. This is the greatest day to be alive. Like, for real. I woke up this morning with a sense and with a feeling that, man, I'm excited. And the reason I'm excited is because this is the greatest time in the world to be alive. Because now you are being forced by the powers that be to be creative, to think outside of the box, to establish a personal relationship with Source, to really truly get out of fakeism and get out of Christianese. It ain't for show no more, bruh. It ain't just dressed up on Sundays no more and going and acting. Like, you can act like you, but now this is like, they're yeah, shitness is happening. Like, the enemy coming like, yeah, it's at your door, bro. If it ain't there, stick around. If everything's going smooth in your life and, you know, and you living a high life, yeah, stick around, bro. Everybody get a turn up the back. So when the shiznits hit the fan, when it show up at your door, when it's at your house, what you gonna do? Are you gonna stand? Having done all stand? Are you gonna? I recommend that you establish the proper mental disposition now before you need it, so that nothing is permanent. We're just pilgrims passing through. We are spirits. We are eternal spirits. We are eternal light beings. We are 144 epigenetic DNA activation codes. So you got to turn your light on. You got to turn your codex on. You should be emitting. You should be emitting. You should be sending out way more frequencies than you're taking in. So you should be creating more products and services and information than you. So whatever you're consuming, you should be creating. You should be creating way more than you consume because you're a creator. So you should be creating more videos than you watch. You should be creating more books than you read. So whatever you're consuming, you should be creating. Because you're a creator. Because your daddy is a creator. Now the offspring of a thing goes up to be like the thing. Last I checked. But what do I know? I'm just a country boy from Texas. So my brothers and sisters, man, y'all know how we do it. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Make sure you pick up all of my frequencies, waves, verbs, and vibration, and the 1,000 for 1,000. Tonight we just was revealing, explaining, illuminating, and simplifying. Bam! Avoidance mentality versus abundance mentality. You see, brothers and sisters, glass is the same. It's half full or it's half empty. It's all perspective. So again, my brother, again, my sister, be aware of people who are always talking about what you have to protect and avoid instead of talking about what you have to create and promote. I'm all for protection, but I'm more about projection. You see, this ain't a new believer show, homie. This is for high vibrational individual expressions of God on this earth. This is for people who understand the 144 epigenetic activation. That be you, boo-boo. Because you got 104 attributes and characteristics given to you in number, word, and color by the big G. Yahushua the HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. Now, whether you over, under, and understand that, okay. That's another study for another time. That's what we're all about, establishing the integration of faith into your finances to establish a new brand and a new way of marketing or moving forward. Brothers and sisters, get out of avoidance and get into abundance. This your boy. I'm at the top grinding and shining. Come join me. God bless.